We are back, episode 7, and it's June. I'm 30,
You are 30,
and
you're a fucking old man.
2020 has been just, I
Wild.
don't even
Wild.
know what to say. It's just,
so
we're
so
taking a
so
little bit of a break here due to just some
just life.
scheduling,
Just
yeah,
life. Yeah.
life and scheduling situations. But I mean, man, how you doing, Welcome back.
All right, yeah. It's yeah, right. Right. A lot of things are it just seems a little bit more overwhelming, depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah.
In general, I think a lot of people are just trying to understand like where do things go. Living in constant change, constant
Mm,
kind of like disruption can start getting to people, right? I mean,
yeah.
we started this what? So it's been our seventh episode. We've done about every week. Some of them like a little bit, week and a half, and then we had a little 2 week thing. So what? That's like
It started back in April, beginning of April.
April. So yeah, so 2 full months, right?
Yep.
And yeah, it's like
I'm looking at the notes
what?
from from when we started. It's like we were just all happy. Just
Oh, happy.
everyone's just chilling in lockdown, coronavirus, and it's
So
just
that was so
Corona is taking a back seat in the news. It's
but
just, oh,
so I guess here's the thing is that obviously like at the end of the day, I'm sitting back and listening. I'm sitting back and
yep.
kind of just like, taking everything in. I'm just like a lot of people understanding what's going on and just trying to further deepen my knowledge of everything, right?
Yep.
Left, right,
Doing the
center,
same.
everything, right? Just
Yep.
trying to understand where it's going. When we were a month in when we started this stuff,
Hmm.
when we started this, and we were like, what do we think the next two months is going to be, right? And how and just and also just thinking about like how are people going to be? We want to do this to start checking in with each other, right? And
Mm,
doing this kind of thing, and kind of
mm.
just whatever. um I mean, 3 months now of lockdown, 3 months of things going down, businesses going up and down and crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, I've had a wild ride with my business for
Yep.
the past three months.
But and while all this is going on, the stock market is ripping. No one knows why, and it's just it's been a crazy ride so far.
But here's the thing, though. That's also like, it just seems crazy. Everything just seems wild.
Yeah.
Every like again, I think Joe Rogan said it. He was just like, it was just like a tinderbox, right? Everybody's on edge. It's just like, who
Yeah.
wants to throw this flame over here and this flame over
Yeah.
there, this flame over there to just set things on fire.
Yeah.
um Sometimes I guess you need to burn the fields to get more nutrients down below. I'm trying to use a farming metaphor, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know, man.
I 2 weeks ago when things were starting to pop off in Minneapolis, a guy that I work with, he was in the middle of it. We were working through the weekend.
Mhm.
To hear him kind of who lived there, and seeing what's happening, it was astounding to just kind of
Mm,
hear one night to the next.
mm,
So, and then I've had people, friends and family who have been involved with other, things,
mm,
other protests and so forth.
mhm.
And to think that like I'm trying to get ready for a baby, like literally, like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to process everything, and then literally any moment a baby could come. So,
It could happen right now.
it could happen.
It
Rachel, you
could happen
okay?
right now.
Hold on. Let me hear. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. But yeah, that's what right. So it's like one of those
Yeah.
things where if I'm feeling like this angst, and
Yeah.
how many
You
other
have a
people
lot.
are feeling it,
I know.
and
I know.
how many other people have it way, like they're in
Yeah.
a harder position than I am, right? So it's
Hmm.
like,
It's a lot. I
um,
mean, my company has actually been pretty on top of that, like trying to make sure people are okay, having guest speakers come in. I agree with you. I think the best thing to do, like, is just take the time, educate yourself on what's going on, try to learn, listen, have conversations with people, and like just try to just take it like I can't even find the words. Just make sure you're doing your part in your community, um, to make sure that like people are all right. That's what we've been trying to do, and just trying to make sure that like Austin is obviously like a big city in the country. It's one of the most popular cities to be in right now in the country, and there's been a ton of protesting and everything, and we have a lot of friends here and a lot of people I work with, and um, I think there's not so much of it wasn't so much of the rioting. There wasn't really a lot of that, here and in Houston. We're actually south of Houston during the main weekend, not this weekend but the weekend before. We're actually there for my birthday. um, but yeah, I think it's just it was much more peaceful than you would think, and I think people are trying to just take the right steps to do what they need to do. But I think it's everyone's duty to make sure that we carry it through, and make sure you just try to stay involved, educate yourself. But yeah, I can't imagine what people are going through, with all of this going on, with the coronavirus, with which is like not even really a topic in the news right now, to um, unemployment, people losing their jobs now, all this going on, and then whatever else you have going on in your life, like you and Rachel, it's just like it's crazy. But yeah, I think
Life doesn't slow
2020
down for
no,
all the craziness,
no,
right? It doesn't
2020
like
does not care. 2020 does not give a shit what
no.
you have going on.
Apparently people were like, we're just gonna do a systems reset on everything, like
Yeah.
just from top to bottom. Which
Yeah.
again, I don't necessarily. There has to be some reform in many areas.
Yes.
So we shall see. It's
Yeah.
the one thing about this whole thing, with whether it be COVID, whether it be changing, reform in the social justice or in the justice kind of it's a marathon. It's not like
Yeah.
a sprint. Like we're in the sprints
Yeah.
right now, but it's a
Yeah.
marathon and it's like a
Yeah.
long term kind of a thing. So
Yeah.
it's just like a
And
everything.
I think that a lot of us don't realize that, that there's, and myself included, um, that how much work that goes behind affecting change, and just affecting change in your community. So I think it was a very interesting wake up call for the country to
Mhm.
be like, it's not all about just sending in that one vote in November. It's more of, again, I'm not a very political person, but it's like you need to. I guess now I'm in my 30s and I need to know how to do this shit.
So yeah, what's funny is people talk about like civics class back in the day. You hear about like
Oh my God, yeah.
civics class, and this is what it is. There's like civic engagement.
Hmm.
How do you affect
Wow.
change? How do you get elected to a board? What
Hmm.
boards and commissions? Different types of government. Yada
Hmm.
yada yada. How can you get like those? That's the way you do it. Elect new people. If you don't like the people in there, elect new
Yeah.
people. It may take a little bit. It doesn't
Yeah.
happen
It's a
overnight,
lot of
but
work.
that's the
Yeah.
the process. So
Speaking of classes, is it true? I feel like you would probably know this like more for a fact
more for a fact, I don't know.
than just like a headline that I read. Is it true that home ec class is not a thing anymore?
I think it all depends on what school you go to. So, for instance,
If you're
a
not
lot of
going to like a tech school,
no.
like a normal public education school.
So so um, it all depends. So I think that, like, for instance, like like shop class. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
places don't have shop class anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and you know why? It's because
Because
literally
too many people cut their hands off.
no. Well, no, like oh no no. So like auto body or automotive.
Yep, I love
Did
those
you?
classes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of the teachers can't they can't work on the cars or they void the warranties. So it's like, what's the point of bringing in your car if you can't work on it?
Oh, that's true. I
You know
mean,
what?
but
You
you
know,
can
like,
still
and
do
it's
it.
like,
But don't they? I mean,
like take a
I,
tire off and put it back on. I get it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like change
Like,
the oil, like get an older car and
listen,
do
a
like
lot, a lot of people
spark
aren't
plugs.
doing it. So here's the
I
thing.
guess, yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say
Mhm.
that it all depends on the school.
Mm.
I would say that most schools probably don't have it. Um,
But I mean, even like cooking, like
Dude,
that kind of shit.
I remember taking a home ec class or a
Yes,
baking
so do
like
I.
or a cooking class. I also remember
It
going
was the
to
best.
I also remember going to cooking camp. So that's also, what I used to do. So
You went to
but that's
you went to cooking camp.
yeah, I think I was in like I don't know, I was in like fourth grade. And
Oh my
I went up to the high school. I remember going to the high school and making
Oh, wow. I mean,
I also went to
I think
yeah,
we just end the podcast there.
like who else did go to cooking camp?
I didn't know
Maybe
there was a cooking camp.
I don't. I feel like it
And you
may.
still suck that bad at cooking? I'm blown away.
Whoa, whoa,
I'm
whoa!
joking. You got skills. You do well.
I feel like your chicken's really bland every time I have it.
Wow, dude. Wow. that that cuts deep.
Maybe it's the type of chicken you get, or like
Hey,
the cut of the chicken, or
don't
what.
you hate on those chicken thighs now? Listen, my cooking has gotten better. We've been cooking a lot lately.
Yeah,
I've been really trying to get better. But I mean, I haven't cooked for you in a while. It could
that
have
is
been
true.
very bland. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the last time you were here, we tried to make something on the charcoal grill and did not let it get hot enough, remember? And it was like shit was completely undercooked. We thought
Well,
it was burgers were sitting on there for like 20 minutes and they
they
still weren't
were,
done.
they were. Yeah, that is true. We were outside for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, exactly. So you're just proving points. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what was your point with home ec?
No, I saw that headline and like the headline was um people parents are starting to feel that like home economics courses need to start coming back into the um education like platform because the kids don't know what the hell they're doing. Like they I mean, it's crazy. I think we've talked about this either on here or outside of this. The amount of people that I meet that are younger than me and even the same age or a little bit older, the amount of people that I meet that don't know how to cook or like make a meal for themselves is insane to me.
Like actually not know how to
Like
make a meal?
like actually don't know how to make a meal. And it's like it's nuts. Like other than not like mac and cheese, like actually like cook some chicken and like use a knife properly, that kind of shit. It's a very I feel like the it's probably I'm gonna call it 25% of the US knows how to actually cook.
I'm gonna give
I
it
feel
more
like
than
that's
that.
aggressive, but maybe
That's
like 47%.
like trust me, we're not feeding that many people at restaurants.
Well,
Or
not
maybe McDonald's.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. No, listen, I feel like cooking to me is like very easy. It doesn't it
Yeah,
like just
I
rolls.
love it.
I'm a horrible baker, but I'm a good cook. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like I
yeah.
can whip something up, little salt, little pepper,
Look
little
at this.
curry, little, you know.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why that popped in my head, but I figured I just wanted that was something I wanted to ask you. I meant to send it to you this week, and I when I saw it and I forgot. But yeah. Anyway, I
yeah,
digress.
no, yeah. I think put it this way. I think education is going to be changed forever.
Yes.
I think colleges are in for a little bit of a rude awakening, and it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. It's going to take a little bit. I think so. There's going to be a lot of colleges that have good enrollments after this.
Mm,
A lot of colleges are going to have bad enrollments.
yeah.
I from what I am hearing and the stuff that I'm reading is that they're basically going to overbook universities
Mm,
and schools just because if people don't show up basically.
mm.
But we'll see. Education will
Okay.
be changed forever. I know. Listen, I always joke with Rachel about homeschooling my child, and guess what? It's gonna be like par for course. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
might
it's
it might
like
actually happen.
Listen, I may send my I may send my child, who will be my student, my pupil. I'm gonna send him to school to basically like socialize and maybe
And
even
argue with people.
no, and just teach other kids and like become like a leader in the pack. You know what I'm saying? Like just do that. You know, listen, I have a
I
whole
feel like
have a
I
whole
would probably have to step in and like do some guest courses to help
oh
them
guest
with that.
lectures.
Yes.
Oh, I'm signing people up left and right. Oh yeah, I mean lecture like honestly, school starts. I believe I'm gonna let them chill. I'm gonna say it starts like late November, so like 4 or 5 months.
Mm.
Getting on that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Listen, all the things that I couldn't be as a person, I'm going to put on him. He's gonna
Oh God, that's terrible, dude. I swear,
that's what I hear in
if
the
you are one of those parents, if he's playing some type of sport or something, and you're one of those parents that is just screaming and losing their minds, I can't be friends with you anymore. I don't care if we're part of the same family. I can't be friends with you anymore. I hate that. Oh,
What about
I mean,
what if I'm not what if I don't necessarily like yell and scream, but I collude behind the scenes with other fathers to have the stack team? What if I do that? Is that good?
oh
Is that
God,
what's up
I
with that?
hate that, dude.
Are you
Oh my God,
serious? That's like the
there was okay.
classic move.
I
Classic
listen.
move.
I'll say I'm salty about it. There was a group of my friends who were part of the um, was it the Braves or something like that? One of the leagues we were playing in for baseball and for basketball. It was the team. It was Piero. Always had the stacked team, and I couldn't stand it. And maybe he either didn't like me or I wasn't good enough. I was never a part of those teams, but my friends were, and I just couldn't stand it. And like I hated just even as like growing up watching those parents be like that. Uh, it's just that is a just such a shitty part of youth sports.
Yeah, but see,
It's
that's the type of
terrible.
youth sports that like the athletes,
Mm.
the youth, they don't find out about that until they're like 20. You know, by that time
No,
it doesn't really matter, and it's like and all the other
oh,
parents,
because
we're all doing it. You
they're
know,
all sitting at the bar and they're like, dude, remember when the fucking our pony league Yankees were so nasty? Dan hit a home run and then Mike
dude.
pitched a shutout, and then they're like, "Oh,
Question.
you're talking about the team that was stacked."
Yeah, you haven't. I've had that conversation numerous times
Oh, so many
at
times,
bars. Okay, so it's like I don't know what you're talking
so
about.
many times.
And I've been at the bar where I've called out the people, being like, and they're like,
Yes,
yeah, our parents did do that. Like
yeah.
we knew, and they're unapologetic, and
Oh
till
yeah,
this day, it still rubs me the wrong way. Listen,
yeah,
some of my good friends were on those teams, and
yeah,
I hold it against them
yeah.
all
Oh,
that I will for
100%.
the rest of my life.
And you know what's funny? They're gonna be 50 years old and still being like, dude,
We had a
our
stacked
team was
team.
so
Stacked team.
and I can't stand
Yeah,
it.
yeah. For me, it was the Yankees were always stacked, and I was always on the Red Sox. And the Red Sox, I feel like
Oh,
we were a misfit bunch, but we ended up being like remember Billy Bob Thornton?
and
He had
the
that
Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears. We were like Bad News Bears, just throwing us together. It worked though.
Oh,
You
dude.
know what I'm saying? We were
Yeah, for baseball, I was never. I was always on some decent teams for baseball. Basketball was always decent. My dad was a coach for a while, um, but that wasn't like to my benefit at all. He treated me like everyone else, which I appreciated. But yeah, we always. But there was always that stack team. I don't even know how we got into this conversation. Oh, because you said you're going to do that with your son, and if you do, you're a piece of shit. Do not ruin his life like that.
what? Listen, all the things that I've heard about parenting and all the books that I've read
Mm.
and podcasts that I've listened to have said to just impose all of what you want onto the child.
Oh, is that what they said?
Yes, yes.
I feel
Isn't
like
that
you
like the
might be
whole thing?
reading the wrong ones.
Oh,
Oh, oh.
no.
Ah, dude. Last thing about sports. I'm not gonna say the name but I remember I was at the grocery store. It was a summer after my first year of college, and I think it was my brother was gonna be coming home. We are planning to like cook dinner, whatever. I was like, all right, I'll run to the store, get some chicken thighs, and we'll make some, and we'll make a meal.
Do a little salt and pepper chicken.
This dad of this kid that I could not stand growing up walked up to me in the grocery store and was like, "Hey, Johnny C, how you doing?" Like, "Hey, Mister, whatever."
So-and-so.
And he's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing good, man. Just home for the summer. Just finished the first year of school." And he's like, "Oh man, you gotta see my son. He's been unbelievable. He had a stellar season, and he's doing all these schools are looking at him and all this stuff." Turned out to be bullshit. And I was the whole time I was like, ugh. Like you have it's like because it never went anywhere. I knew who he was. I knew who the kid was. I grew up playing sports against him my whole life, and I obviously looked into it afterwards because
like this kid wasn't better than me.
Yeah, no, he never was. But it was just like the guy never changed from when we were kids all the way to after your first year of school, 18, 20, 19. It's like, fuck, man, miserable. Just a miserable existence, and I will never be that dad when we have kids, and I hope you aren't either.
Yeah, well,
that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, Rachel already told me that I can't be a coach.
I don't
because mind, you know what
I don't mind the coach actually. Go ahead.
You know, I'm gonna write on the wall because right if I was the coach, I don't care what age they are, right on the wall, it's going discipline equals freedom. Get to learn, get to know it. All right, just get to know it, and you know it. And then I'm gonna make him, and then I'm gonna, and then some more like David Goggins quotes. And
oh my god!
Just say here, you know, you live.
So. Dude. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind coaching, not for like an extended period, but like when they're kids. I don't mind it. I don't think it, as long as you handle it properly. Like I said, like my dad was not. He treated me like everyone else on the basketball court. If I was messing up, I was getting sat on the bench, and that was it. Like that's how it should be. There were other teams that were not like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think coaching for an extended period of time is like not good. But I think just in the early days, like T-ball and shit, it's kind of cute, nice. But I think you got to take yourself out of it eventually.
We did though list all the sports that we're going to allow them to play.
What are they?
Tennis, golf, MMA. And badminton.
MMA and all. Why?
Listen,
why is that in the
list? Listen, it's more about self-defense. You know what I'm saying? Just want them to be.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
No. It's like you know, like I don't care. Listen, I'm just talking shit. Just talking.
Yeah.
Just.
Oh my god.
Loads of it.
I mean, basketball is always a good one.
Well, I mean,
you got some skills.
I was about to say,
it will carry through. I think it will carry through.
It's powerful enough skill that it definitely made it through. Definitely. you saw it, dude, down there. Like I may not be able to dunk, but I can throw some shots.
You could shoot, but you can't. You are 6'3" and can barely touch net, but that's fine.
Listen, I had some ankle and knee problems when I was earlier on in my life.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had the duck feet.
Yeah, I used to walk like a duck, dude.
I know. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter.
It is something that I'm going to carry through my life and use it as an excuse.
I mean, obviously you've seen Forrest Gump. Clearly, that doesn't matter. You could still become one of the fastest runners in the world.
Shoot me a documentary. Forrest Gump is not, you know, even though you wish it was a documentary of your life, it is, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not going back to that.
It's not that.
Oh my god, man.
No, like I don't know. I'm getting excited. It could literally happen anytime. It's one of those things, and I don't know. It's I guess in like again with like the weight of everything that's happening out in the world, everything that's been happening. So here's the thing, right? The shift to like a new job and to moving to a new house and like with my business, that all seems very like manageable, like change, right? Like it's happening, like it's part like that, it's just like part of it. But then you add the COVID, you add like just unrest and just like how people are reacting and what that means and yada yada. And the fact that we're in an election year, which is just like that just is boggling my mind, because like how are we going to even pick somebody in 4 months, 5 months that like everybody's like, yeah, this is gonna be you know what I'm saying? Like, and so all of that stuff, and then I'm just thinking like, wow, I have some plans, you know, I have some stuff I'm trying to get done. I'm trying to build a patio, trying to do a little chicken coop, trying to do a little this, do a little that. I'm trying to work 2 jobs. I can only plan up until the baby comes, and after that it's like, okay, now I can't plan.
All fair game. It's all fair game.
Yeah, just like I can't plan for the future because of COVID, because I can't plan, you know, to like go anywhere. You know, it's like, it's just like the same thing. So it's like one of those things where it's a little bit comforting, where it's like I feel like I've been you know, past couple months have been helping with that, but I don't know. I don't like. I keep on hearing from people is that you think it's going to change you, and then it happens, and
then it definitely changes you.
Well, no, but the change is like nothing you could have even compared to what you thought. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just a switch, right?
Yeah.
So you know, like right now I see the world in black and white, and then when you know the baby comes, I'll see it in color, right? It's like that type of
or 2D to 3D or whatever.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll hop out of the simulation at that point. I don't know. You know, like, you know,
who knows, man. You're watching TV in the 1950s. It's about to bump up to 2020 real quick.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy, man. I mean, you guys have done a lot and have a lot going on, and I think you're doing a hell of a job managing it all. So
but again, it's like there's nothing like
there's nothing to prepare you for what's about to happen.
but like, again, like at the end of the day, we're safe and sound, we're good, you know, we can you know, provide, and then
you guys are healthy,
you know, like exactly. So it's like you got to take it one step at a time, and then
Amen. And
then after that I just got to figure out how I'm gonna, you know, gerrymander his sporting teams to win every time. You know, it's just like, who do I have to drive and this and that.
That whiteboard right behind you is gonna have the hierarchy of your local youth committee. Who needs to be met with?
Okay, board of eds. Who's that? Who do I got to sweet talk?
Who are the top athletes in the 3 to 5 year old age group?
You know what I'm going to do too is I'm going to start getting all the tests for all the grades, so I can have him see if he can pass all the tests, and then, you know what I'm saying, I'll just have him skip grades. You don't need it,
dude. Why not? Yeah,
all day. Yeah, I want to have like a savant, right? Just this crazy savant. You know, you can build me a rocket or something. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, we all wish for that. I mean, I think my parents were wishing for that, and they got me and my brother, and my sister. And it's like,
so you know, the way I'm looking at it is that like I had it all wrong, right? It was all about like creating like a business, or like having like an invention that you like, you know, make all your millions with. It's having a kid and having that kid do it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those type of like really long feedback loops where like,
you're basically LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball laid out the blueprint, was like, I sucked at basketball,
but if you guys are actually good,
I'm gonna have 3 kids that are really good.
But are exactly, and I'll do everything else. Like but just like Kylie Jenner, it's going to come out that they're all broke. There's no business to what they're doing. It's
imagine. Didn't she make like she's worth $1 billion or something like that? Like
no, Forbes just came out and said they lied, and her company's nowhere near worth that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? They
Yeah.
just said that on the radio, like yesterday. Me and Britt were driving somewhere, and I was like,
No, they bought it. They said that they bought it. They bought it, and it for like 900 million or something like that, and it made her like a billionaire or something like that. But then no, it was apparently there's some shenanigans.
really?
Some
Oh, that
shenanigans.
is so fantastic. I love
Listen,
to hear that.
yeah. So there's always things, right? There's always pieces
Yeah.
of the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
But
Dude,
again,
some people close to us have said that the Kardashians are geniuses. So I mean, who knows?
I don't know who's that. Listen. Here's the thing: they are, because we're talking about them. We're
That's
talking
true.
about
Yeah,
them.
we're talking about them.
They got us again. Stupid.
Stupid idiot. Oh my
But
god.
genius again, LeVar Ball. That's what I'm trying to do, dude. Again. I'm just trying to.
Dude,
The
just
whole
trying to,
thing.
Just trying to game the system, man.
Social engineering, you know. Yeah, no, we're excited. So I don't know.
That's it. I'm excited for you, man. I wish we could be there to meet the little guy when he comes in, but I will meet him soon.
The world.
I know he's got some fresh gear, so he'll be looking good.
He'll be looking pretty dapper.
He's gonna be looking pretty damn good, isn't he?
Yeah. And listen,
he's gonna be looking
if
like
he's
me.
not spitting some game in that, it's like disappointing. It's just like, he just has a good outfit. Like if he doesn't have personality behind the outfit. That's the whole
point, though. It's like you, from a distance, you're already making it work. You got the hat, you got the shoes, you got the fancy pants, the cardigan.
Yeah, but John, it can't be like, okay, straight up, John. You look good most of the time when we go out or you go out.
But then you speak with me and you're like, ugh.
No, exactly. You're like, it doesn't match. You look so good. The conversation's so dull. It's like, So I don't want that. I want them to come up and be like, wow, that conversation, like you could have been wearing rags. And
you could have been wearing a bowling shirt.
Okay. Remember when I think it was Britt told you, like, this is Eric, and he's gonna change your life just by talking to him. I think he said something to those effect, or like, listen, when you talk to him, it's just like your life's gonna be different.
I remember that.
Isn't
that was? I wish I can go back there and have been like, cool, I'm gonna get a drink at this other bar. I'm not going to talk to this guy because now I've been roped into doing a podcast with you. And
listen, you would have been helpless. You would have been helpless through this whole COVID.
I would have been.
You would have been like, this is see, again, I'm changing lives.
You are. I mean, I think we learned last episode that I'm pretty much like an old man. I don't know anything about technology. I wouldn't have known about podcasts unless I met you, because I mean, I think you probably said podcast 1 million times a year for the first 5 years that I knew you.
Well, so actually,
after 5 years, I was like, yeah, I should probably check this out.
So I don't know if I told you about this, but I think I hit on a trend that's coming up with the woke people these days. And the trend. So I was at I think I was at a family party, right? And like one of my second cousins, she was there, and she goes to, I want to say like Berkeley or somewhere over in I don't know where she goes actually. No,
Stop making up shit.
Berkeley's not in California, is it?
I feel like Berkeley has a bunch of branches. Maybe. Isn't Berkeley mainly in Boston?
Somewhere. It's USC. Maybe she's at. Either way, she's in California.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation, a pretty intellectual conversation, and somebody was saying something. She's actually a really smart girl. Like, she's actually very smart. And she goes, somebody was talking some nonsense where she was like, all right. She goes, source. And the person was like, what? And she's like, source. Where's your source? Where are you getting this information? And basically, show me where you get this information, and then we can continue the conversation.
It's fantastic.
And so for me, that's kind of where I started. I read this in an article. And if you want me to, I'll share you the article. Listened to this on a podcast, and I was
Yeah.
citing my sources because everybody thinks I'm so controversial. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm spitting knowledge, and they're like, "That can't be
You're
true." I'm
very
like,
controversial.
listen, you can go. Yeah, exactly. You talk to Rachel. She's like, "This guy." But no, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, listen, go listen to that podcast and see for yourself. All right.
Yeah.
Listen. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I was hopping on a trend before you even knew that there was
Yeah,
one.
you were. I mean, I'll agree with that. I'll give you that, Eric.
So,
I will.
and so
I don't.
so I'm saying it here. This is the start of my comedy career. You know what I'm saying?
This is.
Yes. Oh. Why? You don't think I'm funny?
I mean, to me, yes, because I know you. I don't know if it would translate to a room. I personally think I'm funnier. That's fine though. I dull it
Really?
down because I don't want to outshine you on these episodes. I try to just take a back seat.
Well, don't worry. I'll be able to take a back seat. You know, coming soon because I'll just be like sleeping, so I'm gonna be so tired. So I'll just be like, yeah,
That's true.
you know.
That's true. You're gonna have to start. You're gonna have to pick up a caffeine addiction or something. And start banging down some espressos at night.
For sure. By the way, I'll be able to hold up the baby with a little
Oh,
smiley
that's
face over.
right.
Yeah, and I'll put a little smiley face over it so people can see it.
Yes, that's perfect. Only see the body, not the face.
Yeah, exactly. No face.
Yeah.
Emoji. Just use an emoji.
Yeah. You
but
could
yeah, no.
you could show me him before the show, and then
Yeah,
I'll
I don't
let
want. I
the
don't want.
listeners know
Listen,
how beautiful he is.
he can become a star if he wants to. I'm not going to force celebrity upon him like other
Yeah.
families do. I'm not like them. All right. I'm going to let them become, really good at some sort of sport, and then I'll prop them up. So
Yeah, I love it.
But, all right, man. Well,
yeah.
I think we're
Two closing things.
oh,
We could talk about
two
this at the
closing
end.
things. Oh, okay.
Actually three. All these episodes are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So everyone knows. Number two, I watched Dave. Hilarious.
Dude, it's like legit, right?
Hilarious. So funny. We blasted through that in like 2 days. So
and
funny. Can't wait for the next one.
And he's a legit rapper. And the thing
Yes,
is, like,
he is. He's very good.
he's like telling his legitimate story.
Yes.
Like that dude Gata is his actual hype man.
Yeah.
And it's like he's actually has an issue with bipolar disorder.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's amazing.
this is literally me.
It's amazing. Number three, I don't know if you've watched it. I was a little scared to watch it, so was Brit. Handmaid's Tale. It's a little graphic, but that
What season are you on?
Season 2.
Listen, like
You're already into it?
in. Rachel's like, this is a great show, and I'm watching. It's like, what? This is not like this is a gruesome this is like put it this way, if like the COVID keeps happening, whatever, like, and we ever got to that, like, imagine you get to that, like, whatever, that type of society.
Dude,
crazy apocalyptic thing.
Unbelievable.
Yes. No, I don't like
have you watched it?
Yes.
Did you only watch have you watched it the whole time?
Was it 2 seasons?
There's 3 seasons, I think.
Maybe I think I called it quits after 2, because I was just like I can't do it anymore.
It's a lot, but it's like the writing is very good. I think they do a very good job, and the actors are very good. But that's all I wanted to.
It is. It's just
maybe
not
some
my
other people.
It's not my cup of tea. Like, that's not the type of like apocalyptic kind of like life.
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's terrifying. It is. It's tough to watch, but
I feel like I'd rather have Mad Max, but I don't know about that because they have running toilets, and then it's like you go back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, they have toilet paper and all that stuff, and it's not like.
And it's really just horrible for like women.
Yeah.
And like, so it's like, I don't know, like, it's just craziness, dude. It really is. But it's like, it's so bad. It's like it's not like but first of all, who comes up with these types of things?
So we were just about to end this, and I feel bad for prolonging this. I'm going to say it. We could pick it up next episode because I feel like 45 minutes has been the real max for our listeners. I feel like they've taken a mix of Nazi Germany and history and mixed it with like other shit and made this, and it's like unreal.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
But it's, if you haven't watched it, to the listeners, it's not terrible. It's a little graphic. If you have sensitive eyes and ears, maybe not watch it. But I just wanted to recap that because I know you brought it up a few episodes ago. Dave was hilarious. Handmaid's Tale, not bad. Loving Hulu.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all from me, man.
Well, till next time lives will be changed.
Yeah, hopefully.
They will be.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. But,
All right, dude.
All right, brother.
Till next time.
Yep.
Peace.